G'day patrons, welcome to the Renaissance Woman. I am she, Hannah Gadsby. Today I want to talk about the Adoration of the Magi, the three kings that visited the baby JC. We three kings of our, you know the ones. I'm going to talk about three paintings. The first one by Giotto, my favourite artist. I love Giotto. I was going to call my dog Giotto, but I didn't. I called him Doug. In Giotto's depiction of the Adoration of the Magi, we've got Mary, we've got Joseph, and we've got the baby JC Kassab. And you've got the three wise men there. My favourite detail of this painting is the happy camels. Look how happy they are. They are chuffed. The other detail I really like in this depiction of the Adoration of the Magi is the Star of Bethlehem. Of course, this is the star that led the three wise men to see and visit the baby JC. They're like, look at that star, look at that baby. Giotto has depicted the Star of Bethlehem as Halley's Comet, which flew over the skies in 1301, 3 years before Giotto painted it. It stuck in his mind and he said, I've got to paint a star. You know what I saw a few years back? A comet. Put that in. No wonder the camels are happy. Astronomical event. The star on top of the Christmas tree represents the Star of Bethlehem. That's what it's there for. It's a symbol. I'm more like Giotto. I like to diversify my Christmas lighting. This year, I've just popped some fairy lights up around my hanging baskets. Look at that. Little baskety bums all lit up for Christmas. Joy. This story appears in the Gospel according to Matthew. And the thing you need to know about Matthew is he's a bit vague. All he says is there were a bunch of blokes who gave some gifts to a baby. Somehow, we've come up with the idea that there's three. There's no reference to three men, but we know it as three. I think it's because of the three gifts. The three gifts were mentioned by name. Frankincense, gold, and the French cow favourite, myrrh. Because there were three gifts, there was a widespread assumption that there were three men, because it seems unlikely that a whole group of men would just call upon who they thought to be the king of the Jews and just go, we should pitch in for a present. If everyone pops in $1 or $2, we should get some pretty neat giftos. Kris Kringle, the first. Despite there not being any reference to numbers or names, we do have numbers and names now. There are three kings. We have the Persian scholar, Melchior. It could be Melchior, it could be Melchor, it could be Melchior. I used to call the choir boys the chore boys. I've got no hope. And then we have the Indian scholar, Kassab, and the Babylonian scholar, Balthazar. In addition to having names, these three guys also represent the three continents of the old world. We have Europe, we have Asia, we have Africa. Sorry, America, you're irrelevant. They also represent the three ages of man, old, middle-agey, and youthy. Time for another adoration painting. This one is by the Northern Renaissance Meister, Hans Memling. Memling has painted Balthazar as an African man, and this was not unusual at the time. Many an artist had shown the African king to be an African man. In such paintings, Balthazar is shown to wear flamboyant colours and fabrics, sometimes a turban, often an earring. This reflects the garb worn by slaves working in Europe at the time. So Balthazar is not representing an actual factual king, but more the European idea of the exotic. And while we're at it, let's take a look at Joseph. Look at him standing there. He's just like, oh, sorry, I forgot to fix the roof. Oh, shit, there's a big old hole there. Big old doom. Oh no, I'm going to roll my ankle in these platforms. Totter. And it's an interesting structure they're sitting under, isn't it? Look, it's an ancient ruin of a barn. This brings me to the final adoration. It's by our good old friend Botticelli. He also puts his adoration into some ancient ruins. Apparently the plants sprouting out from the ruins there represent Christ's immortality. They look more like weeds to me. I've got some growing out of my garage roof. Botticelli's Balthazar is white, and that's because the Italians, particularly the Florentines, were very resistant to painting the African king as African. Ah, Florence. This is a very busy scene, isn't it? Botticelli has painted a lot of people, and you know why? Because a lot of Renaissance men apparently were attending the Adoration of the Magi. All the 15th century Florentines were right there 1500 years earlier. Good on you, fellas, you weren't they, were you? Now, to me, it seems quite absurd to just pop yourself into a biblical event. But this isn't the doing of the Medicis. It's this guy, Gasper D Zenobi de Lame. Not a camel, de Lame. And if you look closely, he's looking straight back at you, even pointing his finger going, I did this. Yep, I'm responsible for this. I commissioned this. I paid for this. Basically, this guy was trying to win favour with the ruling family, the Medici. He's basically going, hey, here's a painting. I'll put you in it. Can I come to your parties? What a guy. On Wikipedia, this guy is described as a banker from humble origins with dubious morality. Sounds like Charlie Sheen in Wall Street. Actually, it just sounds like Charlie Sheen. Charlie. And don't think Botticelli was above this either. He painted himself in. Look at him there pouting. I'm wearing my best yellow. I just think it's rude that he's not even looking at the event. That is Mary and the baby JC. Wouldn't you look at that? It's worse than looking through your iPhone. If I was there, and I was, I'd be looking. I mean, basically this painting, all it says to me is power and money corrupts. That's what it says. Frankincense and myrrh. Look at all these people clamouring about trying to get up in on the biblical scene. Look at them all there, just shoving their bling up in the grill of Mary and JC. Hey, they were poor people. Why are you doing that? That's just mean. Christmas is a good time for weeding, I say. That's it. Subscribe.